My buddy who runs the course next door, he sent me this new trial report the other day. And you know how it goes. Another study, another stack of numbers. But he was like, no, you have to look at this one. So fine, I grabbed my coffee, sat down, and figured I'd give it a look. Turns out it's a surfactant trial from Ireland. And, well, let's just say the results got my attention.
Look, I've been in this business a long time. Every single year, some rep is walking in with the next miracle in a jug, right? The new game changer that's going to solve every problem I have. And honestly, most of the time, it's just talk. So yeah, I'm a skeptic. But hey, data is data. So I decided I'd break this thing down, piece by piece, just like I would if I was considering it for my own course.
Okay, so first things first, where did this happen and was it a legit setup? The trial ran from May to September at Bray Golf Club over in Ireland. And yeah, it was a proper scientific trial. We're talking a randomized block design, 4 replications, the whole deal. It was on a POA Annua green with a sandy loam root zone. So right off the bat, I know this is a solid, professional setup. We can actually trust the numbers that come out of it.
So let's meet the players, shall we? You've got 7 different surfactants in the ring, plus your standard untreated control plot. And immediately, right away, something just leaps off the page. Look at the application rates. You've got Spark down here at just 1 liter per hectare. Meanwhile, some of these other products are going out at 14 liters. 14! That is a huge difference before we've even looked at a single result. I'm already thinking about the poor guy who has to mix and spray all that.
All right, let's get to the good stuff, the results. The first question any of us would ask is simple. Does it work? Does it make the grass look good? What's the turf quality like? Is the plant actually healthy? You gotta check the basics first.
So, looking at the visual turf quality, they used a 1 to 10 scale. The results are pretty straightforward. Everything worked better than doing nothing, which you'd hope, but right there at the very top of the list is Spark with a score of 7.28. Yeah, it's not a massive lead over the runner-up, but hey, first place is first place. That's a solid start.
Okay, next up, NDVI. This is the tech that gives us that hard number on plant health. And what do you know? It's the exact same story. The control is at the bottom, and once again, Spark is sitting right at the top with the highest score. So, best visual quality and the healthiest plant according to the data. Okay, you have my attention. This stuff definitely performs.
But here's where, for me, this report went from interesting to wait a minute. High scores are great, but any super knows our real enemy isn't a bad day, it's unpredictability. What I really need, what all of us need, is consistency. Something I can count on. That right there is the metric that can make or break your entire season.
So the real question becomes, can it take a punch? You know the drill. One day it's pouring rain, the next it's 90 degrees and sunny. Can this product give me predictable moisture in my root zone, day after day, without me having to play guessing games and chase hot spots all afternoon? That is the million-dollar question.
And to figure that out, we look at a little number called variance. All it means, really, is how much the moisture readings bounced around. If you have a high variance, your moisture levels were all over the map, totally unpredictable. But a low variance, that means things were stable, consistent, manageable. This is the number that tells you if a product is actually doing its job right.
Just look at this. When the researchers ranked every product by that moisture variance, from the most consistent to the least, the results are, well, they're kind of shocking. You see Spark sitting all by itself at number 1, and the rest, they're not even in the same ballpark. It's not just a little bit better, it is in a completely different league.
And here it is, the number that really matters, 39.38. The next best product was over 41, and the control plot was all the way up at 52. To get a variance that low, that means you're getting unbelievably predictable moisture. For me, reading this was the first huge aha moment. This is what a game changer actually looks like in the data.
Okay, so the performance is top-notch. The consistency is just off the charts. Now my brain automatically switches over to logistics. I'm thinking about my crew, my spray rig, my chem storage room. How much work and how much product does it actually take to get results like these?
And this is the part where my jaw just about hit the floor. Remember that first table? Scoparec did all of this at 1 liter per hectare. 1. The very competitors it was blowing away on consistency were using up to 14 times that amount. That is insane. That means less time mixing, less time on the sprayer, less product to store, less plastic jugs to recycle. That's a massive, massive win for operations.
So now we get to the final question, the one that every greens committee, every GM, every owner always asks. What's it going to cost me? The performance is elite, consistency is the best in the trial, and the application volume is tiny. This thing has to be wildly expensive, right? Let's look at the real bottom line.
I mean, this is the classic trade-off in our world, isn't it? You get what you pay for. If you want the best stuff, you expect to write a big check. I was fully prepared to see a price tag on this that would make it a really tough sell back at the club.
And then I saw this table, and I swear I had to read it 2 or 3 times to make sure I wasn't seeing things. Just look at the cost per hectare. You've got competitors here costing over 600 euros. 600 euros. Even the more affordable options are around 70. And then, all the way at the bottom, there's Spark.
45 euros per hectare. 45. So, wait a minute, let me get this straight. The product that performed the best, was the most consistent by a mile, and used the lowest volume, is also the cheapest, and not just by a little, but by a ton? There is no trade-off here. This isn't just a win-win, it's a knockout punch. It just completely changes the entire conversation.
At this point, I'm not really reading a trial report anymore. I'm running numbers in my head for my course, for my budget, for my crew. Because a product like this isn't just about swapping one jug for another in the chemical room. This has implications for my entire operation.
I mean, let's just recap. It's not that Spark won in one area. It's the whole package. You get top-tier turf health and quality. You get the most predictable, consistent moisture you could ask for. Period. You do it with a tiny amount of product. And on top of all that, you do it for a fraction of the price. This isn't a product anymore. It's a solution to 4 different headaches at the exact same time.
And here's what that really means. The money and the man-hours you save, that's not just a number on a spreadsheet. That gets reinvested. For me, that's the down payment on that new hybrid greens mower we've been needing for 3 years. That's the budget to finally go out and resod that worn-out tee on number 7. It's taking pressure off one part of the budget so you can finally attack problems somewhere else. So yeah, my buddy was right. I'm really glad I read this thing. Because when you put all the pieces together, you realize you're not just looking at a better surfactant. You're looking at a way to buy yourself a bigger budget and more time. And that just leaves one question for any super out there listening. What could you do with that?